distract me too, but I love it though. They're good distraction.
They're awesome. They're awesome.
I love them.
Yeah. I like everybody who lives in this house. Everybody that lives in this house is cool.
Well, when we house sit, that's what me and Loki do. We sit there. Well, we do that anyway, but we all of us will sit and watch them. They're just so entertaining.
Okay, so I've got music when I needed to stop it. So I did that. Now I need to go to Facebook and I need to find us and see if we're going. It said we were going. Okay, I see it. Now I'm going to share it to the page, right? Hey, there it is. All right. And then I think I did that, right? And then I do this. And now you can see it says Marianne and Destiny are watching. And hey, hello.
Hello.
We were talking about the turtles in the background. So I don't know if you guys watch the turtles in the background. Michelle was saying that Trevor and Dave watch the turtles in the background. And I turn around from time to time because they get like noisy. They'll fall off of whatever and they sound like rocks.
And so when I'm channeling this Locaus, when I'm talking, so if you notice, sometimes I get like distracted as I'm looking over at them. It's funny and they're comedic.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome. All right. So today, I think we're going to be a little vulnerable today. We have a friend. Oh, Marianne said, hey, Lazarus, Lucian, Loki, Michelle, and Angie. Hello, Marianne. How's Marianne? And how's Destiny? How's everybody doing today? Right? Woo! How are we doing today? I guess let's start there. I'm nervous. So we have a friend that's going through some rough stuff. We have a lot of friends going through just a lot of rough stuff right now. So I'm going to talk about one of my dark spots. So I was admitted to a mental hospital for 72 hours back in like 2012, I think maybe the end of 2012. So I just left my husband. We had 2 little kids. I had never loved myself. I was just in such a bad place and I had become such a toxic person. I had such negative thoughts about myself, about everything. I felt like everyone hated me. I felt like everything was against me. Nothing was easy. Everything was hard. So I was suicidal. And my now mother-in-law called me out on it. And I mentioned it at the doctor's office. It had been like 72 hours since I had slept. So I had Lyme disease and no one knew what was wrong with me yet. So I started feeling, there's turtles going crazy. So I started feeling all this stuff, all this pain and all this just stuff. And no one believed me. No one believed me. And it just put me in such a dark spot. And I had come to the realization people believed more of the lies that I would tell than any of the truth I ever had to speak. No one ever believed anything that was true. But if I'd make something up, oh, that's got to be true, right? But I lost my shit. So all of a sudden I can't smoke cigarettes. Like just all of a sudden this is happening. That's where I'm going. I can't get out of it. No one was going to let me get out of it. So if you're prepared for such a thing, that's wonderful. I was not prepared. And I was terrified. I was shaking. I never knew anybody that went through that. No one talked about it that I knew. So it was all new to me. And the ambulance driver was super nice and let me have a cigarette before we drove away because I wasn't going to be allowed to have cigarettes anymore. And I loved that. Just someone was treating me like a human being because up till that point, people weren't treating me like a human being anymore. But rightfully so. I wasn't acting like I had my shit together. I really needed help. So we go there and they're signing me in and I'm like being pushed on this bed and like I'm in a gown. It was humiliating. I felt humiliated. And they go to put me in a room with a man. And then I was beyond petrified that not only now I'm in a place with people I don't know what they're going through. And I know people that have had some really tough experiences, people that really have had bigger and more than what I had had going on in my life. And I saw it the second I went in there. And it was such an eye opener for me. But while I was in there, like within minutes, my husband and his mom showed up, and then I was able to get a room by myself. I felt like them showing up was the hospital's way of recognizing someone cared enough that they'd let me have my own room. But after they left, I was shaken. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I felt like I had gone crazy, felt like no one wanted to hear me. And it took a while for the nurses to hear me. The first person that treated me like a human being in that place was the night nurse that was entering the data into the information for insurance. This was the first lady that saw me as a human being and not as a mental patient. And that was very refreshing because I was petrified. So you don't have like a toilet paper roll. Like you're not given things that like normal people have because you're not trusted. And that's a really low point to be, and to think about all the people that were hurt just by me saying I was suicidal, let alone being that, and wanting to be a better parent and wanting to be like a better person for Scott and just a better person for me. And it was so terrible, but it was so worth doing. It changed my perspective. I got to see other people that really needed help. It helped open my eyes to a lot of things. A lot of people that saw spirits were in there, and they were being told that they're crazy and that stuff doesn't exist. And I hadn't seen it again yet until then. My towels started moving around during it, and I felt my friend Cosmo was around just trying to smack me in my face and say, don't do this. Like, don't do this route. Get your shit together, move on. And I did. I saw my toxicity in that moment. I finally took accountability to things that I had allowed and things I had done in my life. Before that point, I blamed everybody for everything. It wasn't my fault. I didn't see myself with proper lenses. I didn't love myself. So I think what Michelle and I do now, we want you to love yourself because it's important. And sometimes you have to do really hard things to love yourself. You have to tell this toxic part of you to shut up. Let me heal you. Let me help you. There's a better way. And I know I'm crying and it seems so sad, but this was so hard for me. I have no idea. And this was before my daughter was diagnosed with cancer. So what if I had killed myself before my daughter got sick? How miserable would that have been? So if I'm alive and I'm doing good and I can talk about, hey, I'm not where I was and I'm really in a way better spot, then I'm going to tell you because I want you to know no matter what you're going through, there is a better spot waiting for you. God will pick you up, dust you off, and put you on the proper path. He forgives you for all the stupid shit you did. You're like clear of it. You're clear. You're allowed to move on. You're allowed to have a better life. You don't have to allow anything to hold you back. Don't allow yourself to hold you back. A lot of religious scripture talks about this devil that holds you back. This devil is selfishness. There is no outer force. There is no fallen archangel that is tormenting you. It is you. It is you that's tormenting you. You need to allow it and accept it for what it is, to stop it so you can move on. If you think it's an external force, you feel powerless to it. You are not powerless to it. You are powering it. Stop powering it. Allow God to power you and then allow you to power everything else. You can have a beautiful life. It's worth going through difficult things to receive it.
Absolutely. Just know, Angela, when you were speaking, as I tell, like I tell other people, I mean, look, you have all of this. We know what's going to happen in what you've wrote. Your chart is always, it's always a soul agreement, soul contract. You make decisions. It was divine that your mother-in-law did this. It was divine. She saw the path and the things that you chose. But that's okay. You're here to teach this now, aren't you? Can we now, you probably thought at that moment that was the worst moment of your life. Then your daughter getting sick, you probably, and I'm not saying that you were just like, you know what? I got help to help her. And the divine knew this. The divine will always, always in divine timing, you ask for help, he will help you. He listens to everybody. You don't have to, if you're atheist, he listens. Even if you don't, he listens. It's okay. It's all in divine timing and that. So understand that. So when that happened for you, Angela, everybody was there to show you, and everything was just, it happened, this how it's supposed to happen. And you're here right now. We're very vulnerable. And I applaud you. I'm talking a lot. That's why I signed up for seconds. I'm feeling this, and we're sending you energy. Marcus is behind you right now because we understand. But we're very proud of you from what you accomplished. I mean, you're much different, but this was what you wrote, and this is a different path. But by doing that, Angela, like right now, you healed a version of you in another moment of life, thinking of all of this stuff. You healed her. Somehow she's going to get inspired. And she's not going to know what really happened. It's because you opened up, getting goosebumps because that's what's happening. So so anybody, like Angela said, you're going through a difficult time. Let's not blame forces like Lucifer. Let's not blame Satan. There is a realm where they exist, but they don't want you. They're not here to bother you. They don't want you. They have their realm and they kind of stick to themselves. They don't want a human. Trust me, that's just not what they're wanting to do. They want you to just kind of work on you. If you work with them, call on them, that is fine. You can do all of that safely, but but they're not here to bother you. They're not here like behind you doing all that. That is you doing that to you. Loki is a shadow worker. That's what he does. So understand that. So please understand that is the next thing you said. I love it. Was so inspiring because I hope maybe you put this on your YouTube video because I want more people to hear this. That message you gave, Angela, I really want people to hear that message because that was beautiful. As well, I had different lives, and I have, when the kids do know about me, a counselor at a place like that, a counseling place. And I'm known as Benjamin, and that's what I do. That is why I understand humans. That is why I go out of my way. I would do that anyway, but I needed that assistance. That's how I know how to help. Because in the realm right now, I am helping. Benjamin, that is my name. And the kids often, when they are wanting to talk to me as a therapist or counselor, they call me Benjamin. That's just fine. But that's what I do. And I counsel people and love you. I bring God into you. Whatever you need me as, that's what I do. So how they did everything for you was exactly how I would have. But I would not have treated you cold, however. But that is what they don't understand. It's like, what do they see in that? So this on that. But I would have been the doctor that come in there and tell you you're okay. You're not crazy. Do you speak to voice? That's okay that you hear it. That's okay. That's okay. You're not crazy. I've had lives where I've been committed for that, but I was forced in these places. I wasn't voluntary now, but I'm talking about, this, but they help. I've helped so many people in that realm. I help so many people in that realm and that's okay. Sometimes that's the divine giving you that step up. You ask for this and and then when you get that help and you make that decision, and no matter how hard it is, it will affect another life. And that life will be very affected in a good way because you healed. So these lives are actually intertwined.
Right. And that's beautiful too. So my mother-in-law gave me this book to read while I was in there, Joyce Meyer's Battlefield of the Mind. I didn't know much about Joyce Meyer other than Debbie and Charity loved her. I read that book while I was in there. I highly recommend it, other than when it talks about this Satan and devil just it's selfishness. Like, look at it for what it is. Don't think it's some power outside of you. And this is a book we often give to people that we have sessions with. So if you're going through a hard time, send me a private message if you would like a copy of this book and your address, and I will send it to you. If you
It's a very helpful book.
It is a very helpful book. It really helps you see your thoughts for what they are and understand God, and to have a better understanding of how to help yourself, how to love yourself, how to heal yourself.
Well, I think I'm going to bring Michelle back because now this was your vulnerable. Now she's going to bring something up too. This has been hard for her to do. So I'm going to bring her through. She's kind of stalling on me here. So, honey, you need to come out. Honey, don't. Come on. I'm glad he calls that out. You're stalling.
Got to.
Thank you. Okay, this isn't easy because this is, besides Angie and your daughter knowing, and my kids are actually very good with this. And my ex-husband, surprisingly, was very open. He got it once I told him. He's like, oh, that makes total sense. Okay, well, all my life, I've been made fun of because I always was attracted to men's cologne, men's clothing, and I really didn't know. I just thought, okay, whatever, I just thought it was okay. I was always attracted to that. And mom always wanted us to play with Barbies, and I didn't want to do all that. I wanted to do what the guys were doing, the four-wheelers. I really thought, hey, I already identified as a man. It's like, okay, well, I'd rather do that, but I'm female. I mean, I was even mad when I grew boobs. Like, oh no. I don't identify. Mom was so upset when she said, you want to go bra shopping? I'm like, no, but I had to in the period because I identified as a woman, so I was like, but I dealt with that. And it's been something throughout my, being my marriage with Kenny, I never understood it because he would ask what perfume I'd want. I said, give me cologne, like Jacquard. He would never, I would give him, he would never say, well, he would never say that. He would just buy it for me because he would, okay, that's okay. You can do that. Well, then we started channeling. Okay. We started channeling. So they're guys. So I thought all of this was them. So I thought, good, this all makes sense now that this is them. It's not me. It's, well, I talked to Emily. We have our girl sleepover, and like Locaus loves it. And so Locaus and Emily were talking, and I was there too. And Emily said to me, she said, Aunt Michelle, do you think that you could be non-binary? Because she knew, and I'm looking, so I came through and I said, oh, that can't be right because, but she was very, how she explained it to me. So then I started really thinking about it. Well, I got a counselor through Cerebral, and it was brief and that, but I only needed the 2 sessions because she let me know. But she indeed let me know. She said, did you ever think in your marriage that was the problem? Not that it wasn't that I was the problem. It was identified as my husband. I couldn't let him take control, like not take control, but letting him do the masculine roles because I wanted to do the masculine roles. I wanted to be the guy, and I was always, and I did, looking back, I tried to take control of everything like a guy. And I looked into it. So I don't identify with a woman or a male. And it's not because of them, because but it makes sense because we're in this. You have the female, the dresses and everything, and I'm always the guy stuff. I like the jewelry. I mean, it's always, and I'm right now wearing cologne, the man, but that's because that's what I like. So that's the thing. I am non-binary. That's how I identify. I've been doing that for trying to work through it, and that it's still new to me. I'm still working through it, but I didn't know it was a thing. But I'm happy it was something. Dave knows about it, and Dave said that makes perfect sense. My kids said they've always known. It was just they're waiting for me to come out. So that's my vulnerability, and this was something I dealt with. I didn't understand as a child, as it is now. Our parents don't even know. I haven't told them because mom's always trying to dress me in girl stuff. I like dresses. Don't get me wrong. On occasion I like dresses. But it's not all the time. I go back and forth. And if anybody knows anything about Loki, he's gender fluid. Right. So as well, I could be identified as gender fluid as well because he's gender fluid. If anybody knows anything.
And didn't Krishna
was as well. Right. Shiva was gender fluid as well as Marcus.
Right.
Oh, Sri Krishna was, yes.
And I've always had the same thing. Jacquard Noir, I love that. I've always loved the masculine things too. I used to wear that also. I take yours and wear man's pants and flannels, and I still go through that too. Like I still feel like I have a little guy in me. Like I want to be a little guy today, but
I feel
not the same way that you do. I'm happy that you've come out this way. Hopefully, it can inspire others to do the same too. Start being authentic. Who are you really? Look at it. What makes you happy? It's time to start really looking at it and making fixes.
absolutely. Well, I'm getting on May 12th, I'm getting my hair shorter to match this. I'm losing weight, and it seems everything's easier now to come being authentic. Well, losing weight before, it was all about one thing because of the feminine body, but now it's not for that reason anymore. I just want to be myself, but people don't know that I'm non-binary. It's hard to be, so now people know this. It's just much easier for me to be more comfortable. But like I said, this was something that I always just thought it was them until Lokeas said, Michelle, it's not us. It's all you. Even Emily had to call me out, which I like. Emily called me completely out. So
That's great.
yeah.
So let's look at some comments. So we've got Destiny said, thank you for sharing that, Angie. Super relatable. I visited rock bottom more times than I can count. Yeah. I figured it's going to be a very relatable story to a lot of people in a lot of different ways, just that hurt and all of it. So prayers for you while you were in your rock bottom, because it's some
Absolutely.
places to be.
Absolutely.
Hope said she was invited here by Destiny. Thanks, Destiny.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story with hugs. Oh, thank you, Hope. I appreciate that. Welcome. Hello. And Destiny said, I love that. A beautiful life is worth going through difficult things. Absolutely. I really appreciate you guys doing this. Our souls often have a preference. Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. And yay. She gave you a yay with double hearts. Woo-hoo.
Is identify more masculine, but like I said, I always thought it was them, and then until they go, no, it's you.
Right.
So yeah, but thank you so much. That was difficult, but I'm happy as well, Angie, that you shared what you shared. I'm happy. I heard all of that, and I was in the back, and Loki was consoling me because it was. I remember that whole time I cried.
It was hard to speak it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I need to be vulnerable to help them know that they've got this. They've got this hard thing. You, whoever you are, if you have this hard thing, you've got it. You're not alone through it. It's worth doing. All of it.
Yeah.
Hope said, by watching this, I'm inspired to do a Facebook Live tomorrow, something I've been procrastinating doing. Well, go. Do it. Yay. Yay.
Yay, that's fantastic. Heck yes.
Way to go, Hope. I'm excited. I would like to see it.
Too. Yes.
We all have a story that's for somebody else. We've all had experiences that somebody else can relate to, but we don't all talk about it. Again, I'm sure that I have many friends that have been in a 72-hour hold. They just have never talked about it. We don't talk about those things, but I think it's important. If I could have gone and just surrendered, if I knew that it was counseling and that there was group counseling where there'd be like a therapist and we talk as a group about what our problems were, what we needed to work on, you learn so much in that moment. If I could have just surrendered, I could have got more out of it. But at the end of it, I wasn't allowed to sharpen my pencils, and we had to use crayons and stuff. I felt like a toddler, but there was something so beautiful about my last 4 hours just being a toddler with other adults. We were all just coloring the Reds thing. Like, since we're from Cincinnati, we had like the red legs, so we all had a Reds thing to color. And there was a young girl there, and I just really connected to her when I was there. I felt like I was there for her. That part of me being there was she needed a me to let her know she could be okay outside of there.
Mr. Lokeas, I was getting ready to tell you that.
Yeah.
Your experience there, you're a light. So oftentimes a light will go through places like, just because you're getting help You're being vulnerable. You're a light to help them. So how many people did you help that you didn't even talk to because your light was there?
Yeah, there was one guy that kept staring at me. I think he said I looked like Sarah Palin or Gina Davis or both of them or something, but he loved me. He was so mesmerized with me. And he kept saying, "You're too pretty to be crazy. You're too pretty to be in here. Why would anybody pretty even be in here?" And I don't see myself as pretty. That's not like words people throw around at me, and it made me feel so okay.
Did he look familiar? Did he look familiar to you?
Oh, yeah. Because he saw spirits too. He was one of the people that would say that he saw spirits. That was one of the reasons he was in there, is because everybody thought he was crazy. And he's like, I don't know, man. I feel like I can't help what I'm seeing.
What did I tell you before about what we can do?
That's right. Yeah.
Why would I say that? Who did he look familiar? Did the eyes look familiar?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, wow.
Okay, they look at me, look at him, feel this energy. We can do stuff like that, Angela.
Wow.
Mhm.
I enjoyed coloring with you.
I enjoyed as well. That's what we do. I told you we show up.
Yes.
Don't believe that when angels show up, they can show up, and they will show up as humans to help you. So
Hope said, thank you. Marianne said, thank you both. My whole life, I've been the outcast with my family, dealing with shit by myself. Parents always passed me off to my grandparents, but always time for my other two sisters.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
again, we can't let our story be in the way of what is new for us. We can't do that. Like, my story ended there and I began something new. I don't want to take my garbage with me. I want to leave it there. So if you're in the middle of your shit storm, leave the past in the past, leave it there. Make your peace with it and leave it there. And then let what's new and what's meant for you, just wait and see what that is and let that build from there.
As a Loki, now when you left, Angela, you probably felt like a weight lifted because you will release that.
Yeah.
You had to release it. Sometimes, like I was telling Destiny earlier, sometimes when we do energy in that and people are praying for you, sometimes the only way is for you to enter back into what you're trying to heal, face it for it to heal. And it's not pleasant, but you know, when you did that, you took that onion off. You took it off and it left you, when you have a wound, but you also got to heal it with love. Locaus was there to guarantee everything was good, as well as Cosmo. I was there too, of course, but energetically. But you released that shadow. As soon as you accepted it, you released that shadow. As you walked out, you were fantastic in that. And, you know, it helped you get that onion off so you can work on another onion.
Yeah. And I would like to add, if you're ever in that place that you feel like harming yourself, reach out for help. Don't just say it to hurt somebody. I know a lot of people do that. Again, I've said before, pity's not love. Don't do that to yourself and don't do that to somebody else.
And this is Cosmo. I usually don't make an appearance.
Yep.
But since the subject is, you know, that is how I passed. It was one of those, it happened, and that's kind of where I was heading towards. Like Angie said, please reach out. I didn't want to reach out. I was so self-absorbed within myself. I felt nobody would understand me. That is why I had family. I had people that wanted to talk to me. Even you tried to reach out to me and I ignored you. Your ex had tried to reach out to me. I didn't want nobody, even my own daughter. I was just like, you know, and my other children are trying to reach out to me. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Don't want, you know, because I knew more. And when it happens, it's a shock. And it's just because you do that, I still I didn't heal. I'm healing now. I mean, I'm healed, but once you see what happens, there is no hell. I did not go to a hell, but I had to face the things in life I didn't want to face. I had to face these things. So it's best to get help. It's best to talk to somebody. Somebody will, you ask for the divine will help you. I promise the divine is always there. Divine will help guide you. Right now they're guiding me, and you're a teacher, but I'm a teacher over here. I can't say, would I rather be still here? You know, because either way, more useful. But the message here is get help, talk to people, and make sure you don't hold things in. A lot of you people, you humans, are holding all of this in. And watching Loki, like work with energies and the soul retrievals, he does this to help not only this incarnation. I didn't realize myself how many lives from what my one little action did, how it affected my other lives. Exactly. And not in a good effect. So not only was I healing here, I have to heal the other ones as well that I have out there, so prevent that they don't go do the thing that I did. But I wrote it to happen. This was not something that it was a surprise. I did write it to happen, but by doing this, what it did do to all my other lives as well. But Loki's got it. But so when he does this, that's why Loki and Locaeus, when Lazarus offers this, as well as Angie, when they offer this free work, it's because they really love you and they want this for you. If you want energy work, we'll be doing it for free. And right now they're doing soul retrievals and energy work. Anybody that asks for free, and Loki does this once a week for anybody that asks. If you need help during going through like a part of yourself that you feel that you need help, Loki and the Lazarus, they will come through and they can help you out. So please understand this and message one of them, and they will help you on that. So there's be open about that. So you're never alone. So I agree with Angela. I was there moving that for you because I want to make sure you knew you weren't alone. Yeah. But Locaeus was there. And I love that because you just now found that out.
Right.
So I'll bring back Locaeus now. So
okay. Destiny said she struggles with releasing. She doesn't even realize she's holding or know how to release.
Well, this is Locaeus. Okay, Destiny. You're doing that right now. You what happened to you yesterday was you're trying to release it out, but you have to allow it. It's the problem. You have to allow it. And Angela talking about what happened to her, she probably didn't want to release any of this stuff because you were probably just comfortable leaving it in. But do you see where she is now? Is this because Destiny right now where you're at? Your onion is right here. Now it's easy to remove these layers. It's very simple, but when you get to here, it's harder because it's more to your soul, more to the heart. And you have to be very careful and easy. You got like a band-aid. You don't want to just sit there and just people say rip it off. No, you want to just very slowly, very carefully. Like I always use the example to people like a wounded bird. When you see a wounded bird, you take very good care of it. It's going to be scared of everything, but has to learn to trust. And in time, it will trust. And the divine is coming through as the helper. Like, I am here to fix this wing. Let me in to do so. But you've got to allow, and we are here to help, Destiny. As I said earlier, you need that help. You just let us know and we'll help you through it. Make sure you have Kleenexes because this where you're at right now, you're very vulnerable and it's going to be, but you have to let it do it. You're scared. That's understandable. It is so understandable. But when you release it, you're going to cry. You're going to probably have nightmares. But that's why we're here to release that energy and help you. And Loki releases that shadow because once that's off of you, it won't trigger you anymore. It may come now and then, but you'll feel much better from that. So it's just, but you got to trust. But you really have to trust that it's okay and trust the divine. It's okay to let it out.
Marianne said she holds on to everything until she breaks down. Yeah, you need a new way. That way's not going to ever work. It hasn't worked so far.
It will never work.
Yeah, you're just, ugh.
You have to, that's why they do meditations. That's why meditations encourage breathing, walking outside, being in nature. If you have like meditation, I hear people say that's difficult. We'll go out in nature, stare at a tree, sit by the tree if you feel compelled. Go barefoot in the grass. Yeah. Whatever feels comfortable, but you got to release it. If you don't ever release anything, you hold on to all that.
So I have a thing. So when I was sick with Lyme disease, I wrote a bunch of stuff down. So like my path to healing. And these were some notes from Beauty for Ashes from Joyce Meyer. So these are some things I think you might want to say to help you heal some stuff. And if you'd like afterwards, I can type it up. and post it. So I receive your forgiveness, Lord, for the sin of whatever. Like if you've been a liar, be like, just forgive me for being a dirty, dirty liar. We have, Lord, I receive forgiveness for maybe being a liar, being fill in the blank. In Christ Jesus, I forgive myself and accept your gift of forgiveness as my own. I believe that you remove this sin from me completely, putting it at a distance where it cannot be found again, as far as east is from the west. And I believe, Lord, that you remember it no more. And I forgive a name for whatever was done to you. I choose to walk in your ways, Lord. I love you, and I turn this situation over to you. I cast my care upon you, and I believe you for my total restoration. Help me, Lord, heal me of all the wounds inflicted upon me. And I went through thing after thing in my head of all the crap that I had done or all the crap someone else had done to me. And I released it, and it helped me a lot. And one by one, you get to go through those things. So I think that might be helpful for somebody. And if it is, I will type it up and share it again.
And that is beautiful, and it's affirming. And do this daily, and you give it to God. You give it, because when you hold on to it, you have to forgive yourself, but you have to forgive the situation. It's no longer valid. Sometimes, because what happens with your energy is when you're going through like a dark moment in your life. Remember, you like spark that there, no matter if you wanted to or not. There's certain moments you spark there. When it's traumatic, you spark it. When it's a great moment, you spark it. So no matter what, that's why it becomes a trigger. But it's only a trigger because you haven't dealt with it. It's trying to come up to heal. It's not trying to come up to haunt you. It just wants to heal because it's storing in your body. If you've got backaches, stomach aches, it usually shows up in your back or your stomach, your head. And in your case, it showed up now, not where you got your Lyme, but that was kind of because your body had nowhere to release it. It had to somehow do something. So that is as well. So you have to release it. So that is the best way. Give it to him. That's what he says. Give it to me. I carry that for you. It's not for you to carry. You're here to be joyful and be happy, but you're also here to have lessons. These dark moments are lessons. There's no other lessons. You will get through them. But if you don't release all of this stuff, it will come out in other ways, and you don't want it to come out. As you might blow up at somebody, you might just be depressed, but your body will start taking it on. So you need to release it. However, you need to candle magic, meditation outside, or even having an invisible conversation. Usually when I was a counselor, Benjamin, he would sit, it's called, I don't even know what you humans would call it, but what I do for Michelle is when she has a situation, she needs to talk to that person, but she can't talk to them. What I do is I pretend they're there and pretend we're having a conversation with them. And because you're talking to their astral higher self, because you're actually talking to the higher self, and you can get your feeling out like that as well. If you're angry and that, or you feel like you have to get it all out, that's the best way to do it.
I write them a letter. So I write them a letter, but I don't like send it to them. But that way I get it out. So I make peace with someone through a letter.
Well, that's another way. Yeah, there's so many different ways you can do it. And that what depends if you are like your friend who has passed, like her, but she had to do it face to face. Others like letters. So whatever works for you, that's the best way but release it somehow. Just get it out, forgive it, let it go. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's like 7:36. Hope said our body keeps score. Oh, yeah, it does. And I've written letters of forgiveness and not delivered them. Yep, same. Same. It is very therapeutic. It is very therapeutic. And she put extremely healing. It really is. Yeah, Destiny said laugh out loud. That was perfect. Yeah. Right. So it's like 7:36. If we want to do, if anybody has any questions, we've got cards next to us. I know I do. I'm sure you do.
Well, I got cards. Well, so we're waiting for a question. Kenneth, her ex-husband, which is funny. I'm this Locaus. I'm the wingman now. But he's been having a question about his ex-girlfriend. He's not sure what's going on with her. So I've been telling him what I'm picking up, but I need the other part here. So it helps him out. Like, what should he do and where is he going afterwards? That's what he's worried about. Should he let go or stay? which has been his question. Should he let go of her or should he stay? So I'm kind of curious what you get out of that as well.
I'm going to ask these wisdom of the Oracle cards.
I mean, that's his favorite deck.
Oh, well, heck yeah. And I don't sign of the cross on them. So
That's his favorite ones.
I know some people like to see people shuffle cards. So I'll see what I can do while I'm near a computer. So I'm not pulling any shenanigans, or I don't know what people think you do. There's shenanigans with Oracle card shenanigans.
I've got the Oracle of the Seven Energy. So while you read, I'll just pull mine out.
Oh man. And they said the top one's my one. Pulling them aside. I'm hearing a bird outside squawking and squeaking. Squawking and squeaking. That's part of the message. Squawking and squeaking. Like,
Oh, I bet that's your friend from Enchanted Moments. Remember, Blue Jays were associated with her.
Yep. All right. All right. He's got message in a bottle. So the card is message in a bottle. Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them, when you believe you will receive them, and when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens. I read that weird. They may come to you as a bird flying by. Well, there's just a bird. A logo on a truck or a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your ears open for someone might say just the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today, your message is this. Spirit hears you, and the reply is favorable. The relationship message says you can expect someone to favor you with positive news.
That's good.
Yeah, that's favorable.
Well, then I got from this deck, it's Roots of Abundance. This is like my favorite deck. I love that deck you have as well. I love this.
Too.
So this card signals you to pay attention to how you are anchored in the story of your life. Trust that you will be taken care of. The world is full of limitless potential and will nourish you according to your beliefs, regardless of temporary outer conditions. You are not a victim of life. Life happens for you, not to you, even if you sometimes slip into that way of thinking. If you are grounded and internally steadfast, nothing can uproot you, and you have the ability to manifest your intentions with ease. The message here is simple. Your life is safe and secure, and your intentions are coming to fruition. All your hopes and dreams are firmly grounded and taking root so that you can reach for the stars in your life and expand your dreams farther than you can imagine. Everything in the material world is a reflection of your interior world. You are unstoppable and shakable because you believe that you are abundant. Know that you can easily move from merely surviving to thriving when you pay attention to staying grounded. If you find yourself ungrounded thinking, now's the time for radical trust. Growth never follows a straight line. You will manifest what you need when you need it. A tall, healthy tree doesn't need to hold on to the ground for dear life. It knows it will not fly away with the wind because its roots are planted deep in the earth.
Yeah,
So
I love that. That's awesome. Mary Ann asked, will my blood clots finally go away? This is hurting me so much. Body's not doing good.
Well, with hers, I got the scrying bowl. Loki's gonna do that one because he does the scrying.
I saw like Loki's gonna do the scrying bowl. Heck yeah, that's all.
That's Loki's thing.
That's what I got.
Loki makes it his thing. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Man, I dig it. I diggity dig it.
Okay. Oh, you go. Oh, I'm going. Oh, I didn't know if you were going to pull a card or.
I did pull a card.
Okay. Well, he wants you to go first, and then he's going to go do this.
Perfect. Okay. So the card I pulled. So for Marianne from the Oracle of Shadows and Light by Lucy Cavendish, and we got the Pink Lotus Fairy. Let's see what we get with Pink Lotus Fairy. A time for spirit. You may love your guilt-free rants, staying up too late and happily behaving badly, but you're about to balance all that out with some very powerful new spiritual teachings and connections. You are to meet a wise one who seems very still, very slow, and very peaceful. She will be tranquil and serene and immersed in a path that until now has felt too slow or foreign for you. But this teacher, who is represented by the pink lotus fairy, will assist you in finding more of your soul's true wisdom. Within this time of inner discovery, you will commit to disciplined new training in the mental realms, steady and physical movement that is unfamiliar to you, all of which helps you to naturally choose thoughts that are empowering and enlivening, yet completely authentic and real. You will learn to be still and to listen to the beat of your heart without giving in to restlessness or the critical voice inside or the cliches the ego loves to trip you up with. After you have learned more discipline through peaceful practice of meditation or exercise or mantras, you will nurture yourself more willingly without guilt, and you will have returned to a place of tranquility, self-love, and peace. You will bring into balance your own shadows and light. Don't worry, you will be happier and more peaceful, but you won't be boring. You could never be. I love that.
That's beautiful. That answered, I love that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, now Loki's going to come through. So, da-da-da-da, here comes Loki. Thank you, Lokias, for that introduction. That seemed really half-hearted from you. So, okay, thank you. Like, da-da-da-da, it's you, Loki. Go on. All right. Okay. Now, there's a reason why I wanted you to go first, because it's going to go right along.
I figured.
Yep.
Right.
It's all because, the same here. So Angela is describing, Marianne, to you exactly what's going on to you. You've had a lot of happening thing going on with you. You've had, we everything going on with people in your life that's, you feel, kind of coming at you, targeting and everything else. But see, the lady, the teacher, which I loved, this teacher is what I told Marianne before. She's got her guide, who is a female, who speaks to her and takes care of her. That's the inner teacher. So it's what I knew. So, but because you're described exactly what, here. So to Marianne, so what's going on with your blood clots? Hun, you need to calm down. You are, understandably, everything's going on. You've got Ted going on. You got your divorce going on. You have a lot going on in your life with Cain. You got, all of this. But you need to breathe it out and trust, because right now you're kind of in this, I don't trust anybody. So your body's kind of taking it out on you. Like Lokea said, if you hold everything in, that's what happens. So your body is reflecting what you're feeling. So to help out, of course I do energy work. I help Marianne out, but the blood clots will go as soon as you start releasing a lot of this. Don't hold this in. Don't hold anger in. I know you're angry. You're sad. There's a lot going on, but you need to release it. Write a letter, like Angela said. I think, or your candle magic. I feel right now she needs to release it, and I see a letter, and I see fire. So it could be her writing the letter, releasing it into the smoke, or it is her just talking to the reading a letter out loud to the fire. But either way, I do see these things and know that the people she thinks are against her in some levels are not, because this counsel that she speaks, that is the Cain talks about. I am a part, and just know that I want you to understand that they're like humans, that they feel like a human. They're not, this because they're demons does not mean that that's the first thing they do is they're going to, try to do the worst, because they're like humans. They judge, they'll judge it. And sometimes you've got the old cantankerous people that are going to make the wrong decisions, and the people with heart are the ones that have to make sense. But that's happened in your realm as well. So you need to trust that. The situation we were talking about earlier, don't trust that. Please don't trust that situation. But I just want you to let go, like with Ted. Well, I've been telling her ex-husband, Lokeas has, and I come in for the sarcasm, let it be. What happens with Ted, like Lokeas has been saying, whatever it is, it's good or bad, just let it be, whatever it is. There's no good, there's no bad, it just is. I feel for Marianne, that's what we need to do. But anything like you feel like they're coming against me, well, no, it is what it is, let it go. That's what there's no good, there's no bad, it is what it is. And just breathe it out. And that seems to work for him, because I tell him that a lot, and so it's okay. It's okay. So that's with Marianne. That's what I feel. You need to release all this energy. However, you need to do it, because I see a lot of tears and anger, and you got it. It's all over your stomach and your back, your head, beside your leg. And the doctors were just trying to help you, scaring you. But there's a reason for the scare, is to get you to do exactly this, release it. They want you to release it. Sometimes a scare situation, you might get angry at them, but they're they're speaking through angels. Angels will also speak through a doctor to make sure you will follow suit. Maybe sometimes scaring you is that to do. So the blood clot, it will go away. Either way, if you don't, with your emotions, it will go away, but it will go away faster if you do that. But you got to heal the inner you. Believe it or not, that'll start as well. And believe it in your heart that it's going to be gone. Just say every day, I don't have a blood clot. I don't have a blood clot. And believe it or not, you'll manifest that as well. So there's two things. So you'll manifest what you want. Just say, my blood clots are gone. I don't have no blood clots. It's perfect. My leg is healing. I feel fantastic. And then you'll notice a big difference when you do these things. You'll lead to what you're looking for.
Hope asks, are the signs I've been receiving lately from my dad? That'd probably be a good Locaeus question. Oh, yep, Loki. So yeah.
I'll bring Locaeus back, but yes, they're very loud. I can hear them. They're very, okay, well, I'll speak because they're saying to stay here. Okay. Her guide says stay. Okay, I will. I will stay. But yes, all the signs she's getting, there's something they say. I'm gonna connect a little more, okay? Because she's so we're gonna calm down a little bit. She's putting energy towards something, and they're just trying to reassure her it's going to happen. They're just giving her that divine sign. So she's energetically working towards something, and they're saying, hey, you got it, you got it. And she'll notice when she's not doing it just right, they're helping her tweak it. So she'll notice these things. But yes, her guides, all the signs are for her to help her energetically go for what she's after. So it's a divine working through her guides. It's all of them working. She's got many guides. And she's also a star seed. So she's also got her planetary helping her as well. And they're sending her a bunch of, so she's got a lot of, come on, you got it, hope you got it, So they're just giving her signs to let her know she's on the right way, because she worries like, well, am I on the right path? She is, trust me. They're letting her know right now. Don't have to keep asking, honey, you're on it. We're going to make sure you stay on it. So they got her back.
Awesome. Heck yeah.
Yes.
Marianne said, beautiful. Thank you so much.
He's very welcome.
Right. And if there's any other last minute questions, otherwise, do you want to pull like a card for the week? I'll pull a card for the week while we see if there's any last minute questions. That sounds like a thing to do.
Absolutely. Well, I'll pull a card. Well, I tell you what, Angela, you pull a card, I'll grab the bowl.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to pull a card from the Foxfire Kitsune just because it's friggin' wonderful. The artwork.
That's my favorite.
Destiny, did you see mine, Angie? Oh, I did not. So let me go back to it. I ordered a protection spell book. There is still some apprehension for me regarding spells. I was wondering if you guys had a little feedback about that. Michelle, that'd be great for you, or Loki, or Cayuse, or any of you.
Michelle knows nothing about that. So she's like, okay. But she's asking the right one. This is Loki. She's got the right one. Because remember, got Merlin over here. So I got Merlin. We're not going to bring him fully out because he gets out there. And Morgan's in the back as well, because that's her. As well. Yeah. It's like, ah. So,
wow.
So what the apprehension is, she's not ready. She's not ready. It's her guy saying, whoa, 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 you need a little bit more. What's going on is with Destiny, you're going through, right now, you're healing some dark spots. When you go through protection and spells, if you are not like the darkness within you healed, it can attract the darkness accidentally while you're doing these spells. So you have to be very careful. Your guides are being very protective over you. There'll be a time you can do this. So understand you can. But right now, if you feel, any apprehension, that is your guides, even the guides to the book, because understandably, the deities involved, she does have war helping her too. You're not ready. Heal what's in you first, and then you're going to be ready. And then she will not feel that apprehension anymore. It'll just become, and she's very natural. This is a very natural thing, but they want to make sure she's going to be safe while doing this.
Okay. Hope said, I'd like to ask if I'm on the right path with my hypnosis business. Thank you.
That's where she's putting, yes, because that's the energy she's for her guide. Yes, absolutely.
there's a big push for your thing. So if that's the thing you're on, then that's it, girl.
Yes, because they're giving her the right. Yes, absolutely. They're giving her the right. So that's the energetically she's working for. And she's very, and I also want her to know if there's any setbacks, it's okay. That's a divine telling you, you go a different path. Her guides want her to know this. It's okay. If there's a setback and you feel, well, I'm 2 steps back from where I was here, that's okay. It's telling you it's not right or something better is going to happen. So no, these are all great. I mean, they seem like that, but
like they're tweaking something wasn't quite right, so they throw in a tweak for you to get you really going on the right path.
And that's why she gets a lot of signs. Letting her know, like I see license plates and all kind of different things, but they always try to help her out the signs. When she feels that she needs it, they always give her a sign.
Perfect. Okay, is there anything else? Blah, blah, blah. Destiny said, ooh, yeah, no thanks. Oh, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Oh, Herbert, she was talking about the protection spell book.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, yeah, I think it's like once you start learning this stuff, you want it all. You just want to learn it all, but they'll lead you to books, but some of the books you were led to aren't meant for you yet. Like you've got to, and I have a lot of books like that. I started and they're like, yeah, not yet. You're not ready for that yet, because they have to build something else. I have to have a better understanding.
Right.
Destiny said anything around the house. Anything around the house.
Okay, she has a family there. They know that they're looking at a new house and they love them. They don't want them to move. They love them. There's a woman there that just loves Destiny and the kids because she lost some boys, and I'm getting colonial possibly around that land, colonial. And she's talking, she had some boys of her own and she lost them in the war, she says. And through Destiny, she doesn't channel Destiny, she observes Destiny. So I understand that. She's a very good-hearted woman, but she loves watching the interaction between her husband and her and all the boys, but she misses her boys because she lost them. So she's upset, she's moving, she won't attach because she's to the property, but that's what's going on right now. She's just trying to tell Destiny, I love you, I'm going to miss you. So yes.
Wow. Hope said, I appreciate that. Thank you. You're very welcome, and good luck with the business. I think that's wonderful. Destiny says, I've been getting so many signs about protection and I feel unequipped. Okay.
Okay.
This is a nice thing, the evil eye bracelet. Black tourmaline is a nice crystal to have in some form.
I'm trying to look around. But for right now, until she works on that, I know the protection and spell book right now, she's just because she's got that, I don't want her to attract anything, neither does her guides. And I know she feels ill-equipped, so an easy way of protection that she can do, they were mentioning candle magic. Well, I was saying that, I didn't because there wasn't time to mention it, but candle magic. Marianne does a lot of candle magic, and she does a lot of protection through candle magic. As you would just take your candle and you visualize the protection around you, and you use your deities that you would work with. You can use the Lazarus, you can use the divine, whoever you choose. The best ones, well, me, of course, Lazarus would be good, Mother Mary, Jesus, and or whoever deity you work with, and they will protect you. They will make sure and you'll see it. You close your eyes, you light the candle, and you just visualize this protection around you. And that will defend, and you do this as often as you feel you need to. And then you'll get to the point you only have to do this maybe once a week. But that is what she's feeling, says, but something is, with her working on her energy, she's got a lot of shadows. So that's why she's feeling ill-equipped and why she feels she's protected.
Yeah.
And that's common when you are healing, because your shadow's right there, kind of hanging there like this. But I can't do anything until you heal that. And then I can do something. But right now, if I just take it from her, it's gonna be, I can't do that. It'll be too traumatizing. I will not do that. So her shadow's kind of hanging here. So the divine wants her to be protected. This is why she feels that. She's very intuitive. She's saying that. So that's my suggestion, do candle look into some candle magic, but you can do it like that and just imagine the protection. Ask for it, but set your intention. I want, I need protection, and ask what you need for protection for. And you state what you're looking for. Its biggest thing is setting an intention, what you're looking for on your protection. And you will be protected however you feel, like divine bubble, however you feel is best for you. Your deity, Jesus, whoever will work you through that. And you'll hear that, because you do hear destiny. I know you can hear. So that would be the best thing I feel for you. But that would be part of like a protection in the spell book, because something like that would be in there, but they just don't want you opening the pages, because now you're opening that door. So it's much like this bowl here. You have to be very careful with things like that, because you open things when you're not ready to do so. She had, like different things a long time ago, she just wasn't ready to use. But now she's using it because she can be ready. But because of us, she didn't realize, why am I getting all this stuff? I can't use it, because it was going to be for us, not for her to use. So, but yeah, that would be my suggestion. She's comfortable doing that. And if she needs any other suggestions, she can message and we'll give her some more.
Yep, she said, thank you. You're very welcome. Very welcome. And I pulled a card, so I guess I'll go ahead and do it. It was find a place to withdraw to. Okay. I think really resonates with all the stuff that we've talked about. It really seems to be, the forecast seems to be a little bit more healing. We've got more healing on the way, you guys.
Absolutely.
It says, there are times when we must retreat from the world as it seems to be, for we are more caught up in its oppressions and illusions than we know. And in time, we can lose that wilder part of our soul. The childlike part that draws nourishment from the natural world is overwhelmed at present. And if we do not attend to this inner wild one's needs, there will be a high price to pay. So when this card comes, know that the world in which we are tested again and again against harshness and endurance can only be borne by the finding of its antidote, a hidden place where we can go and replenish the wild child within us, so they can come back to life in our everyday world once again. You will know of the need to do this when you have not felt happy, truly happy for some time, or when what we call work dominates the precious moments of your life. It is when our mood sours and curls up and a quiet hostility and shard of resentment have worked their bitter way into our souls. These are your signs that you need the blessing of retreat, of silence, of solitude, of safety and peace. There's too much in the world that you have felt you must endure. This card asks you to treat yourself with more sensitivity and to gift yourself regular time from the hammer of the world. Whether this place is within through meditation or quiet contemplation, or outside, a place where you can go and be for a time without criticism, know that you are not too thin-skinned. You are not weak. You are a delicate being, and you must address the pain within through the finding of a safe space, with which the Kitsune realms are full of, to bring the wild one, the strong one within back to life, so it can take its place at the center of your beautiful existence once again. Let the Kitsune guide you to a safe space. Do not neglect your own soul. Do not forsake your own precious self. You are a treasure. Yes, even in your fragility, you are loved beyond measure.
And everything that you said in that card, what was said throughout this live.
No, I know. It's beautiful. It just tied everything up.
It does. And then I'll do a brief.
Perfect.
That really wrapped everything up. I knew it would. But for the week, so what the card that Angela pulled and what we've been saying all through this live, and so there'll be the lesson here. Sorry, her nose is itching, driving me crazy. Okay, guys, love the human body now. But what I get from everybody is we need to calm our energy down. We need to let more, love you, affirm that, like in the message that you put from Beauty from Ashes. The message for the girls shared today was to help anybody going to watch it now or in the future understand it's okay. And I'm seeing a lot of people like the world today. I get Ukraine, I'm getting this, everything. And everybody said this is like the worst place to live, but it is a lesson. This is what you wrote. And it only reflects what is given out. Is it want to reflect exactly what you see? If you see all negative, you're going to get all negative. If you want to see positive more, you will see more positive. And I feel vibrating. I'm getting vibration now. I'm getting people. Remember, Go to your little hideaway, astral, outside, whatever that is for you. Even if you got to do this, and then you do that, whatever is most comfortable to you. Michelle goes to Japan she goes by a cherry blossom tree where we're always at, and she talks to us. And that's where she goes. That is her safe spot. And she sees us, and that's where she goes. So that's an example. So she'll do like a 30-minute just to see us. If you only have a few minutes, go to your safe place, wherever that is. And always take time for yourself. I'm getting somebody here a bath, Epsom salt, clearing outside barefoot possibly. So always do self-care, love you first, because you don't love you first. No, but you can't love you can love, but it's it'll drain you a lot faster. So make sure you love yourself first so you can give that cup of love to somebody else. It's always very good to do that. So let's make sure you do that, because in order to serve others, we need to take care of ourselves first. So, and remember, you are loved, you are unconditional. I know this is Loki saying this, but some of this is Marcus because he's right here. But remember, you're loved, you're unconditionally loved. Sri Krishna came in to speak about the love. Jesus was here to talk about love. Buddha, and everybody has come in, Mother Teresa. Remember that the message of love, everything you go through is all leading you back to love. Your lives that you have is to lead you back to Christ consciousness. You all achieve this. Everybody has achieved. Even he had, when he was walking here, that is why his story is told and very popular for that reason. Because he was showing you, you can fight this. And then the crucifixion, no matter, you see that, but that's also to show you God won't abandon you. God will not abandon you. I mean, that's his own son, but yet he never left you, not one moment. So let's remember that as well. So that would be my message. Everybody just take good care of yourself, to love yourself. And exactly what Angela said, find your safe spot, with that through meditation, through music, running, whatever is your thing to do, driving, whatever it is, do that this week. And everybody just got the chaotic energy. So let's just power energy towards good, positive thoughts. Laugh a lot. Laughing will really raise your vibration up, and you'll bring more of that into you. Whatever you want, you bring into. So let's bring more love, in that too. Because if you ask for darkness, sometimes what is the lesson in that as well? Why is it there? Is it a lesson? And in any time, you can always ask for assistance. As why is it here? You will get an answer in the tool. And that. So that would be my message for the week. Between the two, that's what we would suggest.
Perfect. Hope said that was beautiful, and she just got the truth bumps, spiritual chills. Awesome. I like how everything just tied in. I'm glad that we got our beginning part over with, because I was nervous to do it. So let's see, we've got our next Ask Lazarus and Lucian will be on April 28th, and our next Tuesday teaching, I think, is going to be on May 3rd, I think it was. And we were going to talk about love and stuff. Is that what we were going to talk about? Jesus and love and these spiritual teachers and how they taught us love. We're going to get into more about love.
Because it's very important we had Easter just around the corner, and still Loki, but we want to make sure that, because it's good to put the rabbits and good with the eggs, but it's also to know about Jesus, and that to know all of this, but Sri Krishna and some other things, and that the teachings with that. So I thought, as well as, agreeing that's a great thing to do. And also I thought we'd celebrate the 100 followers on your Blue Heavens Facebook page.
That's right. Yay. We hit 100 followers. I'm so excited. That's so awesome. Yay. Yeah, we were going to go out to lunch. I've been sick, but when I feel better, we need to go celebrate at lunch.
Well, she's on that phentermine and she can't eat. Well, she's been messy. I mean, she did take the dosage correctly, so some of us didn't feel like we could walk. We learned a powerful lesson is pay attention to me, So she couldn't have ate anyway. She'd have passed out on you, and you've had to drag her butt out there somehow.
We'll hold off on it.
Yeah. She's good now.
Destiny said, I appreciate your bravery. Thank you, Destiny. Hoping it inspires people. I think both of our little stories will. If you need that, if you need it, it's there. We did it.
Yeah, and this is Michelle. That was difficult. And yours was difficult, but I didn't want, so.
but I'm glad that I did it. And again, I feel like I released more of it. And anybody that's in that situation, if I can ease some of the discomfort or unease, I'd like to do so, because I got a lot of healing out of it, but I was petrified of it while I was in it. I really wish I could have surrendered more, but I was just so scared. I was so scared.
And what's okay is, and what happened was the divine knew that. So the intervention happened for that reason.
Yes.
So that's another example to people watching, and you feel like you can't get through, he will find intervention for you to get you help.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. All right. It's wonderful. All right. So Marcus, does Marcus want to come through and send us with some bunch of rainbow love, love it up?
I am all about the love. I've been perfecting this, so her body has been hard. But there we go. Yeah.
In a new way, and I can't do it.
I can't do it that way. I can do it this way. Her body's hard to maneuver in general. Human bodies feels weird to me. So yeah, this is weird. So, and we know I have a dislike for bugs and stuff. I don't hate them. Just when they crawl on her skin, it just like that feel. I don't hate them. It just when they crawl on her skin, it just feels like, you know.
I had a stink bug land on my face last night while I was in bed, and I thought of you. It hit my neck. That's what it was. Like it came out, hit my neck, and it was like, oh, I'm normally all covered up. And I like pick him up and fling him, and I told this guy what happened. He was like, "Do you think it was Jesus?" I'm like, "I hope not," because I just chucked him.
But you will realize that our energies are, you know, we're here too. So you did feel me kind of like that. So yeah, you felt me. Yeah, that was me. Like, no, get it off as fast as you can. And
I did.
That's what you did. You probably did so fast. Understand that's because I wanted off your body because I can't handle that. I can't handle the feel. I just it just feels so when you're channeling. It's different when you're in the body, but when you're channeling the body, it feels so different. So yes, it was just my way. Like, get it off.
There's that. Destiny said good night, friends, and Hope said good night. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Well, everybody, send so love to everybody. Be a spark for somebody, and be a spark for yourself, because if you give it to others, you need to have it for yourself. So let's remember that, and wish everybody we wish everybody a beautiful, wonderful morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, whenever you're watching this. We wish you good energies and love to you always. From Blue Heavens, from Lazarus, and from Lucian.
Absolutely. We love y'all. We'll see you on our next video or live or